There is a very popular saying, as you all know, which is be careful what you wish for. And I say this in the context of feedback. We all really love feedback when it's good feedback and when someone's telling us we've done a great job or patting us on the back or giving us a pay rise, right? But we often don't like feedback, which might be constructive criticism, but feedback that we are afraid to get because we feel like we might have failed or we feel like we might have a lower self-esteem as a result of that feedback. Now, in corporate life and corporate culture, feedback has become very much a thing. When I was working for some of the bigger law firms, we started out having what we called 180-degree feedback, which is my manager or my supervisor giving me feedback about my performance, about what I may have done right or wrong, and how to improve. And then in time, we evolved this sort of feedback scenario to be more like 360-degree feedback, where I would also be giving feedback to my manager about how my manager might be a better leader for me or what I think the manager might have done better, etc., which was pretty scary by the time you were a partner or manager because you don't know what could get thrown at you from your team. Now, whilst I think all of these sort of like corporate tools are really great and necessary perhaps in bigger organizations, there are two fundamental things that I would say I derive from this. Number one, from my experience, you don't wait to give feedback at a feedback review or a one time a year. You give feedback when it's necessary and when a mistake has happened or an event has occurred, because that's the time where I'm most likely to remember the feedback and I'm most likely to act on the feedback because I myself would probably feel responsible for that act or action that might have happened. And the second thing is that not all feedback is necessarily should make me feel bad about myself or push me to improve. A lot of this is also about self-reflection, isn't it? I mean, to me, I always use the opportunity of feedback to self-reflect, to see what could I have done better, where can I improve, and what are the things that were beyond my control so I can be realistic in assessing myself and my performance in that particular situation. And also being kind to myself, forgiving myself if I genuinely made a mistake, or forgiving myself if I know that there are areas where I lack and I improve. So I think to remain motivated in a corporate environment with a lot of politics, with a lot of agendas, with difficult people, it can be very hard not to be able to filter all of this out. So I would say take the feedback, use it to self-assess and to grow. I mean, the whole idea of feedback and the exercise, and I made this video because I got a huge amount of responses to my post last week on feedback rather than many of my posts on more complex legal issues. So I know this is a topic that is close to everyone's heart and that matters.